Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about things I wish I knew before going to school and then going to university. So, I've learned a lot of lessons during my years in school, but today I'm just gonna give you 4 of these most important ones that I believe has the most valuable lessons. So I'm pretty sure guys, if you just implement one of these 4 that I'm going to talk about today, you'll be surprised, you'll be amazed of how much you will increase your mental health if you're a man, especially if you're a man. How you will gain a lot of confidence. You will be just that guy, that everybody will talk about. Like an overall
boost just for you.
So, okay, we're starting off with number 1. So it's almost September now guys, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are considering to continue your career, your road in first university or college. And even if you are in a college right now, this moment you're watching this video, the video still applies to you. All my suggestions still applies to you right now. What I often hear from a lot of young guys is that they very often say that
Okay, it's another year. I don't want to go do the same homework. I don't want to
teach the new subjects and all that. But there's one thing that is always changing. There's one thing always changing every year, and it is people who we meet in school. The thing is that everyone, I promise you, everybody, when they travel to like a new city to study or when they get a new job or something, they often feel like awkward and maybe lonely and all that. A lot of them are doing exactly the same mistake, and even I did. So they want to get friends as fast as possible. And I don't say it's bad to get some new friends. I believe and I think it's great to have a lot of friends. But the thing is that you don't focus on getting new friends. You don't focus. You're open to get friends, but you don't focus on getting friends. If you know what I mean. Let's imagine this. You go to university in another city, you meet new people, new teachers, it's new subjects, everything is new. And one thing you'll notice, at least on the first day, is that you see that you find it very awkward that a lot of people are lacking in their social skills. So they'll be sitting very awkwardly, right? And then most likely it will be one person or maybe 2 people there in your class who go,
What's up, bro? I'm Jonathan. This is Jack. Where are you from? What's your name?
So there goes this small talk about school, about them, about me, I don't know, about subjects, about girls and all that. And the biggest mistake that people make here, they fall into this trap. So if they were this person who met Jonathan and Jack, from now on, from day one, they will consider Jack and Jonathan as his best friends. And the bad thing about this is that Jonathan and Jack, they actually have not the same interests as you. They like to play video games and you like to train or playing football or doing something else. They have other plans and they have this own view of this world, how people should interact with each other and all this stuff. All this stuff that you know is
Garbage.
And the thing is that you remain their best friend or one of the nearest friend because you don't think that you have any other option. But the thing is that you have no idea how many other possibilities you have. So my biggest suggestion to you is get acquainted with a lot of people as possible. Because if you do that, you finally find the right ones. But because it is very rarely where a scenario like this happens, where like in Harry Potter, where Harry meets Ron and from their childhood they had the same interest and they grew up with the same interest and all that. It is very rarely it happens. My biggest suggestion for you is to get acquainted with as many people as possible and be selective. Be selective because be nice with everyone who wants to get friend with you and people who you want to be friend with. Be nice with everyone, but be selective. Just try to get the people who have the same interests as you and pull them towards you. So that was suggestion number 1. Then we're moving on to number 2. So recommendation number 2 is always stand up for your principles. And this is actually the key to your confidence in school, at work, in general. So let's imagine you're moving to another city just to study. And you have to live with some random people just because you can't afford to live by yourself. So the thing is that from day one, I want you to stand up for your principles. If you see that, let's imagine you live with 3 different people. He's playing video games, the other one sleeps all day, and the third one is just watching Netflix all day. And there comes you who trains every day, who tries to actually maybe build his career, maybe studying or not studying. I don't know what you're gonna do, but at least you will train. And one thing that you absolutely have to do, especially if you will live with them like for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, from day one, just stand up for your principles. If you go to gym every morning, go to gym there also. Or if you decide that you're gonna try to improve yourself in different ways, not including studying, like for instance, you from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. you do something else, improve yourself, then no matter what happens that time, 6 to 8 p.m., you do what you're supposed to do. And at the beginning it will be actually very difficult for you, because I'm pretty sure they will go like,
oh, this guy is a weirdo, or he's a extremist, or a tryhard, and all that.
And if you just manage to resist their words, which is, yes, I understand it's difficult, but if you manage it, in the long term, some of them will maybe like follow your road, maybe begin to get the same interest as you, or if they don't, they will at least be respectful for you and respect your thoughts. And this is extremely important to do from the day you meet them, because or you meet your classmates, or you meet your people that you live with, because the thing is that if you're just gonna think, okay, yeah, well, Igor said that, but right now I just want to chill in 1 month and then I'm gonna start doing what Igor said, it will be much worse. I promise you, it will be much worse for you, rather than if you just from the start come with your own principles and your own thoughts. So that was recommendation number 2. We're going to the recommendation number 3. And this is a very weird one. I'm just gonna say it right now because I hope I won't get banned after saying this. But the thing is that I want you to do is not helping the one who's being bullied. Yes, it sounds weird, it sounds dirty, it sounds awful, and all of the words that you can think of. And then you're wondering, well, what should I do then? Should I like be just staring at the guy who's getting beaten up, or what should I do? So I'm just gonna say that I'm a person who really loves to help people, and in Norway I haven't really seen any like sort of bullying like it's uncommon in our country. Like I've only seen it twice, and one of them happened with me personally. So, but it's a story for another time. But what are you doing when you see a person who's being bullied? If you haven't seen him, just imagine what you want to do. You want to help him. You want to help him. And do you really think that if you manage to beat these guys up and you actually like save that kid from getting beat up, you actually think that you will help him? You actually think that these guys won't hit him again? I don't think so. Why? Because from now on, every time the kid will go to school, or maybe if he is a student to university, and he watch behind his back if someone is maybe following him, and if he sees that someone is following him, you know what he's gonna do then? He's gonna search for you. He's gonna search for the person who helped him in that situation. Because it doesn't matter if it is school, if it is university, if it's at college, is it at work, it doesn't matter where. But if you are bullying at some point of your life, I mean, there's a different sort of bullies, right? If you see a person who's being bullied because of his like disabilities, yeah, those guys who's being bullied, you just should be the one. Like, there's nothing, the guy who's being beaten, there's nothing he can change. There's nothing he can change, just the way he was born and all that. But most likely, in most schools, the person who's getting bullied, it just means that he has a lack of something. He's just lacking something. Maybe he's just very fat, so he's very obese and they're laughing at him because of that. Maybe he's just lacking confidence, as it happens most of the time. And maybe he's just very nerdy, or something is off with him, right? But if you're actually gonna help this person who is fat, who is thin, who is lacking a lot of confidence, and you know that, or something else, well, he won't really change his mind, he won't really change his behavior, so he will just remain the same. The best thing you can do, however, and this is actually the best thing for the person who's being bullied, the only thing you can actually say to him is, okay, that means that you have to improve yourself. You have to improve yourself as much as possible, just to not to convince them that you are a better person, but convince yourself that you are actually worth much more. Or another example, if you see that he's being trash talked for his jacket, for his new jacket, then it just means that he's just lacking self-confidence to actually prove them, or just say for himself that, nah, I have a great jacket, you know. And my mother gave it to me. I have a great jacket. I don't know what you guys saying. I like it. He doesn't have the balls for that. Because if you're gonna help a person who doesn't have disabilities, because you just want to help because you want to help him because it's a human, then he won't really get any recovery from that. He won't really get any recovery, and he won't stand for himself. So this is very, very important. And my last recommendation for you guys, it goes like this. Never perform when you're presenting something in class. Never perform anything script-based or scripted, or you know what I mean, like write it on paper and then read from it. Never. Why? Why is this the biggest lesson I've ever learned? Because don't get me wrong, I was pretty good at school. Like, I wasn't the smartest kid, but I had some good grades. But the reason why I was like a good grader was because I developed a strategy. And that strategy was like, when I knew I had to perform, like the day before that, or maybe 2 days before that, I would just visualize what I would say, like word for word. Then I would write everything down, every single sentence that I would say during my presentation. And then I would just memorize it and just perform it when I have my presentation. So I could just literally look towards the audience, but at the same time doesn't even notice that they are there. Because in my eyes, I only saw my script. I only saw the sentences, I only saw the words, the commas, the dots and everything. Yeah, that's the way how I managed to get some good grades. But the thing is that if someone interrupted me meanwhile I was performing, I would just be lost. I would just be lost. I didn't know where I was because my text was just gone. I couldn't see the text anymore. This is not even the biggest problem. The major problem with this technique is that it doesn't allow you to be authentical. And you cannot think out of the box. So I used this technique for many years, and you know what it gave me? It gave me a huge amount of problems with my speech, with delivering my message to other people. So when I just talk with normal people like about normal topics, it becomes so much harder to just spoke what you actually think. It's just so much harder because before that you had that script, right? You had the script, you know what you should say because you just had to read it from, like, you memorized it. But now when another topic occurs, when something intervenes, when something happens, you're lost. And that causes you trouble when you try to partner up with some businesses, or maybe you just want to get some new friends, or maybe your relationship, just everywhere in life. So guys, because I've seen a lot of other people doing almost the same thing, or they have this like the A4 paper and they just try to read it and then watch your audience like. So what I want you to do is whenever you perform, don't ever have your script in front of you. Don't ever do that, or or memorize any of that shit. Just have some notes so you can have something to speak from. Because it causes so many troubles with your own speech, with your own thinking of how words will come out of your mouth and all that. Because the effect that this technique causes you, it is actually much higher than the actual result you get from school. I promise you. It's just much better to have okay grades, normal grades, or even bad grades than using this technique and get good grades. I promise you guys, I promise you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you think that there's some topic I didn't cover that are very important to cover up, let me know that in comments below. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.